So this weekend, Terrifier 3 hit theaters. I managed to go see it this evening, and I wanted to let you guys know my thoughts on the film, so let's get into the review. If you guys are new here, my name is Mike. I host this channel, and basically, I love talking all things movies, horror, music, and video games. If you guys are into that kind of stuff, and I guess also food reviews, because I've been posting some of those and they've been blowing up. But if you guys like those kinds of videos, make sure to subscribe here to the channel. Today, as I said, we're going to be reviewing Terrifier 3, so let's get into the background of this film. Terrifier 3 is directed by Damien Leone and stars Lauren Levera, David Howard Thornton, Elliot Fulham, and Samantha Scafati, and follows 5 years after surviving Art the Clown's Halloween massacre. Sienna and Jonathan are still struggling to rebuild their shattered lives. As the holiday season approaches, they try to embrace the Christmas spirit as they think they're safe. Art returns, determined to turn their holiday cheer into a new nightmare. The festive season quickly unravels as Art unleashes his twisted brand of terror, proving that no holiday is safe. So right out the gate, this is a Christmas film. And, this brings like a new sense of flavor to the franchise. For me personally, I love Part 2. I think that is a great film. And the first one, definitely flawed. Felt more like a proof of concept as Art the Clown being a full movie as opposed to a short in like an anthology film. And this is the third film now in the franchise. And after the second one was crowdfunded and was just kind of given to us as like the raw cut, being like 2.5 hours long. Damien Leone trimmed this one back and decided to make this a Christmas film. And yeah, right out the gate, Christmas, not Halloween like the previous two were. And yeah, this one was an absolute blast. I'll just say that right now. I had a fantastic time going to see this in the theaters. Lauren Levera, she is a up-and-coming horror star. I absolutely loved her in this film. She was fantastic. Not to mention good looking in this film. And Art the Clown, he is this character that is known for his antics, and this film definitely shows those antics on screen. He goes beyond the boundaries of, Terrifier 2, even with some of the stuff that goes on in this film. With the kills, the amount of kills in this one is it's a lot in this film. Even compared to the second one, which had a ton of kills in it, this is even more, and they're all brutal kills. There's specific ones, in particular, where it's just these gory, torture sequences that just make you feel sick to your stomach watching it. And also, not to mention, the directing in this film is absolutely fantastic. Damien Leone is a fantastic director, honestly. I really enjoy what he's doing as of recently. And, this film has like this look to it that's like this Super 8 camera, almost like an 8mm camera. It looks really, really cool. I really enjoyed that about it. And also, not to mention, there's the Art the Clown kind of sidekick character in here, and it's Vicky, who is one of the characters in the first film. I didn't realize it until watching this film, but she was the chick at the end of Part 2. There's like the post-credit scene in that film that is in like the mental ward. I didn't realize that was her, and then watching this and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, Vicky, I remember that name. And I looked it up and I was like, okay, yeah, that is the chick from the first movie. So there is actually more continuing threads from 1 to 2 to 3, and I really enjoyed that. It just feels like this sense of continuation from each of the films, which is really, really cool. This film also answers a ton of the questions that were asked in Part 2. What happened with Sienna's dad? What was this whole sword thing that was going on with, that Sienna had the sword that could defeat Art? What's going on with that? How does Art survive? And yeah, it's just keeps diving into like this supernatural side of art, and while this one definitely feels a little bit more grounded compared to 2, where it, like art goes through a ton of stuff and just like, gets through it, this film is like he's unbeatable almost, where it feels like, like the classic slasher like Jason Voorhees almost, where he goes through hell and still manages to, or he doesn't really go through hell, he just like, doesn't get fought back against, I guess, and just like is on this unbeatable threat. And I also think that this film is way better paced than the second one, which, if I'm being honest, I'd probably rewatch 3 over 2. Do I prefer this one over 2? I'm not really sure yet. I'd have to rewatch this one to solidify that, but I still think that this and 2 are pretty much on par with each other. Whereas 2 was a huge surprise hit, 3 was a really good solidification of where this franchise is at in terms of quality, and I really enjoyed that about this film. As for issues, I really only found a few plot holes where it's like, they say somewhere in the film that like Art is the most famous killer since like Jack the Ripper, if I remember the quote right. And then there's parts of the film where it's like, okay, like he gets on a bus and nobody recognizes him. He gets on a subway train. Or a subway, the subway. Nobody recognizes him. Like, it's just like weird stuff like that I don't quite understand. But it doesn't take me out of the film per se. It definitely is a little weird, just like thinking about it by the end of it. It's just like, oh, why did that happen? But like in the film, in the moment, I didn't really care all that much, honestly. So that's really my only issue with the film. So in all, Terrifier 3 is just a solidification of the quality and the uprising of Art the Clown as one of today's modern classic slasher killers and slasher characters, slasher villains, and also solidifies Sienna Shaw as just a badass final girl. I absolutely enjoyed this film from top to bottom, and I'd absolutely recommend any horror fan to go see this in the theaters. Yeah, so hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please make sure to hit the like button, and if you're new here, make sure to subscribe as well. And let me know if you guys have seen Terrifier 3, what did you think down below in the comments? No spoilers for people who haven't seen the film, but yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts down below, as I said, and if you haven't seen it, go see it if you're interested. And if you, like I said, if you like the video, make sure to like the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.